car that started the chain of stylish mid-size sedans was the Hyundai Sonata back in 2011. Now in 2014, nearly every mid-size sedan has unique and seductive style. But one car that needed to catch up with its competitors in terms of style and feature content was the Chrysler 200. Now this one I have right here is a 2015 model. And for this model year, Chrysler has decided to discontinue the convertible as well, which I could see why. It's because the sales were extremely poor. Now, as you can see, this is a radically different mid-size sedan. However, I can't quite try to figure out what kind of car, more expensive car, it's trying to copy, as some other competitors are trying to copy more expensive cars, like the Ford Fusion copying the Aston Martin, and the Kia Optima trying to copy Audi. This one I have right here is an S model with the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. You do have remote keyless entry, of course, as well as remote engine start. It is a granite crystal metallic exterior with a half cloth and half leather interior with blue inserts on the leather. Power driver seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now the interior design of the all-new 200 is definitely interesting. It's definitely different, not your average mid-size sedan. But you do have push-button ignition, so just put your foot on the brake, hit the button to start, of course. Now this is very interesting. Chrysler calls this their rotary gear selector. It just works as any other normal gear selector. However, I did think at first it was a zoom in and out for your navigation system. But just twist it to the right and twist it to the left. And putting it into reverse, of course, displays your backup camera. While I do like it's nice and large, the resolution of it is kind of crummy, I have to say, but you do have guidance lines as well. Alright, and let's go ahead and turn the lights, fog lights, and the hazards. And you also do have paddle shifters as well for the manual shiftability. Heated exterior mirrors. Halogen projector beam headlights with your halogen projector beam fog lights as well, and you do have your LED daytime running lights. I have to say, the 200 definitely looks way more aggressive than the previous generation, and it looks a lot more bold. It's making a bigger statement with this car. Definitely gives it rid of that rental car stigma that it's always had. Now, like I said, you do have Chrysler's optional 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 with variable valve timing, producing 295 horses with 262 pound-feet of torque. Now expect fuel economy numbers to be 19 in the city and 32 on the highway. And you do have the option for a more fuel efficient engine, which is the base engine. It's a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder producing 184 horses. Now, all-wheel drive is also optional on the 200 as well. You also do have 18-inch aluminum wheels. Now, competitors of the 200, as you all may know, is the Kia Optima, Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Chevrolet Malibu. The 200 is definitely trying to play with the big dogs in this market. Now, trims on the 200 range from the base LX model, which comes well equipped with air conditioning, keyless ignition and entry, Bluetooth phone and audio connectivity, and USB and iPod integration. And then you can step up to the Limited, which gives you more luxury features, including dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, as well as rear seat heating ducts. Now, the S trim, which is the sporty version of the 200, Comes pretty well equipped as well, with 18-inch wheels, a sport-tuned suspension, fog lights, an acoustic windshield and front door glass for a quieter cabin, and cloth leather sports seats and an upgraded interior trim, as you saw on the inside. Coming to the rear, you have LED tail lamps, which are standard on every 200, dual exhaust tips, as well as a shark fin antenna. Very coupe-like styling. Very stylish. Like I said, EPA estimates are 19 in the city and 32 on the highway. Total vehicle price for this particular 200 is $29,730. Power windows, power mirrors, power door locks are conveniently located right here. Nice soft to the touch armrest, nice and stitched as well. And let's go ahead and rev up the 200 and hear how that Pentastar V6 sounds. Now, build quality and materials are just exquisite in the 200. Nice soft touch materials all around. You even have padding right here as well. Padded dashboard too. Everything is just very high quality in the 200. Now, this is a very interesting design as far as your center console goes and the cup holders as well. This actually slides forward and aft, and as you can see, you have a very large center console. Lots of things to store in here. It's very clever in how the interior storage space works in this car. You have a 12-volt power outlet down here, a USB port, auxiliary input as well. But I just really love this design. It's very interesting. Nice soft touch center console as well. Electronic parking brake, your front defroster, rear window defroster button. Your AC controls can either be controlled by the Uconnect touchscreen or down here as well. And I do like how they give you the option of hard touch, simple buttons. But it is dual zone, and you can actually turn the screen off as well. And as far as the Uconnect touchscreen goes, it's just like every other Uconnect touchscreen in a Chrysler product. You have your heated steering wheel, heated seats, controls, auto dimming rearview mirror as well, roadside assistance, and all your media options are controlled right here besides your radio. Your Bluetooth streaming audio, auxiliary input, USB port, Sirius XM satellite radio, and you can get many safety technologies on the 200, including a lane departure warning system, blind spot monitoring, all that great tech, as well as forward collision warning too. Now, I have to say, I really like the gauge cluster of this 200. I'm really liking the baby blue design that reminds me of the Chrysler 300, but it's very clear and well labeled as well. Now, as far as visibility goes, it's not going to be as good as, say, a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry, and that's due to the sloping roofline, which a lot of cars have nowadays. But it's not the worst, but it's not the best either. Now, as far as the steering wheel design goes in the 200, you have your cruise control, your Bluetooth buttons, your voice recognition, and everything on your information center is controlled by this right here. And it is a TFT display as well. You have your trim info, of course, your fuel economy data, of course, vehicle info, tire pressure monitoring system, coolant temperature, transmission temperature, oil temperature, your oil life, battery voltage, and you do have a digital speedometer as well. It's very intuitive, I have to say. And your steering wheel mounted audio controls are located behind the steering wheel, which is definitely different. Not a lot of cars are like that. Sunglass container, interior illumination lighting as well. Now, as far as the seats go in the 200, I actually really like them a lot. They're very supportive, very comfortable. A lot of padding as well. Nice and big. Really like these seats a lot. And just the design of them is just very interesting too. However, I don't really like this cloth. It's kind of scratchy feeling. I would much prefer suede instead. And you do have the Uconnect apps as well, and you do have a Wi-Fi hotspot. All your apps, including iHeartRadio, Pandora, Slacker Radio, all that good stuff. Yelp as well. Now, as far as the ride and the handling go on the 200, it's also very, very composed. It's one of the best riding cars in this segment, but the handling is also pretty good too. It's not going to be as fun to drive as, say, a Mazda 6, but it's definitely one of the best handling in the segment. And as you can see, this car feels very expensive than what it really is. Chrysler has come a very long way. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the 200. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seat space as well as the cargo capacity. You also do have an Alpine surround sound system with 9 speakers around the cabin. These rear seats do fold down to maximize cargo room. Now, trunk space back here is pretty adequate. Build quality does follow through in the rear. They didn't skimp out, especially on the soft touch materials. Build quality is just excellent back here. Now, for taller passengers, this roofline does slope down quite a lot, and I found it a little bit hard to get in and out, especially in the rear of the 200. It's not as easy as my Toyota Camry. But you do have dual map pockets, rear air vents, cup holders with a center armrest, and you do have storage back here as well. Now, as far as the rear seat space goes, it's definitely one of the worst in the class. The Volkswagen Passat, the Honda Accord, and the Toyota Camry are definitely going to be a lot better in terms of rear seat space. It's not as far as to say I'm cramped, but it just feels kind of like, probably like as big as a 3 Series or a Mercedes C-Class. It's just not that roomy back here. Alright. Full manual passenger seat. You also do have a 12-volt power outlet right there. Your glove box compartment. So now we come down to the question, is the Chrysler 200 the best in the segment? Well, personally, I don't think it is, but it's definitely one of the best. If you're looking for a little more of something that's different and more stylish, the 200 is definitely going to suit you. However, for a very large family, I think probably a Honda Accord or a Volkswagen Passat or a Toyota Camry is definitely going to suit you definitely better. However, it's definitely very interesting in its design, and it's a very well executed car, I have to say. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.